I have no reason to get up in the morning without music.
Welcome to one of my favorite guys to stick a microphone in front of, Brent Smith of Shinedown. I assume he's one of your faves too, since you did this download. And thanks for doing such a thing. I'm Frank Jenks, listening in smack dab in the middle of greatness when I'm backstage with Shinedown. Here he gets into the song, All I Ever Wanted.
All I ever wanted is about wanting to go home. Is about, that was written when I was in Atlanta, and we had to go back in and do more songs for the record after we had thought we had finished the record. And for like a brief moment that day, I remember when Brad played me the riff, I just wanted to like go home for a little while, just for like a day or two. And it's just a song about, you know, when everything comes kind of crashing down on you, you just sometimes want to retreat just for a few days and just be alone and just kind of calm down and just, it's about wanting to have a place that you can always go to and be safe at.
What do you mean when you say, but I can't decide if I'm aware that I'm on trial then? What do you...
Just the things that you deal with all day long, people's opinions about you, things what they want you to do, and, you know, they're questioning everything that you do, and they're wondering what you're doing. You know, it's just, I'm not sure if I'm aware yet, but am I on trial? You know, it's just that, the way I looked at it is like, because I am in a lot of ways every day kind of on a trial.
And ask him about the artist that he digs.
Probably one of the biggest Otis Redding fans in the world. That man just makes me, like, I don't know, I've never heard a man sing like that before, and just makes me feel incredible. Yeah, I'm a huge Soundgarden fan. I've been for a long time. I think Chris Cornell tapped into a lot of great stuff, you know, with his writing. But, I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of inspirational people. I just watched this, Jeff Buckley at the Metro in Chicago. We've got that DVD, and I just watched it. That's, like, awe-inspiring. I mean, it's amazing. I've never seen a man, like, just very, very emotional. I mean, just really a very captivating human being he was.
I had this big idea about Shinedown. Yeah, the name of the band is this great big light butt. I asked him about it. He told me about it.
Shinedown is basically the yin and the yang of the music. Sometimes you shine and sometimes you're down. It's kind of the positive and the negative.
Maybe my favorite song still from Shinedown is Better Version.
Better Version was written in Los Angeles, and it was really written about how I felt towards my band at the time, because we had 10 days of pre-production, and basically what was going on is I was having to deal with lawyers because the band had not been signed yet into the project with me, and I was having to deal with all that. I wasn't really there during the whole time of the recording, or not the recording, but I wasn't really there during pre-production, and they kind of were giving me a hard time a little bit, and, you know, I was probably drinking way more than I should have been, and just a lot of different things, so, that's kind of where the lines come from, and they knew it the day that I came in with the lyrics, and I actually sung it, one part of it that day, but I think the day that it got recorded, they kind of knew it was from that day. It was just one of these days where everybody was just kind of at each other's throats, and then the next day, that night I wrote all the lyrics, and the next day I came in and sang it, and, it's kind of where that whole initial, I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be, and if that's what you wanted, well, then I'm so sorry. It transfers over to everyday life, and anyone, whether you're, 9 years old or you're 90, everybody has I think they go through life, and they notice that some people want to put a stigma on them, and they think that they should be a certain way, and it's just like, dude, I'm just who I am. I think the most important people in life are the ones that accept who they are and do their best to try to make themselves better, but they're comfortable in their own skin. And if everybody else around them isn't comfortable, then so what? As long as you're happy, and you have to make yourself happy, and the people around you, your true friends that love you for what they are, and love you for what you are, then I think that's all that matters. And it's just that song's just a testament about being honest and, being understanding with people and knowing that, everybody's got an opinion, but still being a little sarcastic and being like, this is just the way I am. So.
Here Brent speaks about Burning Bright.
Burning Bright is one of those things where it's kind of like a song that, in my way, the way that I wrote it is kind of like I don't know what the best way to say it is. It's kind of like a manual on life. It's as you write it as you go, and just realizing that, that you might be different than everyone else, and things might be hard, but you have to find that inner strength. A lot of my songs are about inner strength and just figuring out a way to overcome things. feelings and being honest. That's just a song that, it's just about rising up and just keeping, and keep going and just, keep doing what you do and don't ever sell yourself short and just stay hardcore about everything, because it just comes from, the more the light shines through me, I pretend to close my eyes. The more the dark consumes me, I pretend I'm burning bright. It's just about when you're at your darkest moment, you have to find, strength within yourself to get over it and come out of it.
And now crying out.
Really just kind of like getting rid of your baggage, And then like the whole line, let's flip the switch and use the smoke and mirrors, and see what happens, Let's put a little magic in there and see what happens. It's just it's a song about a release from everything and just not taking it anymore, and just trying to be very honest with everyone around you.
Oh yeah, Fly from the Inside. I love this song. Here's Brent.
No one can actually steal the sun from the sky. I think everybody knows that's probably impossible. But that's the whole thing about it. It's that unattainable dream that you might have, that anybody in their life might have, that people will tell you that you're foolish for trying, or it's never going to happen to you and you should give up. You should just be modest and do this. It's about that unattainable dream that people tell you that you can't get, and you go after it. And that's where, I found a way to steal the sun from the sky. Long live that day that I decided to fly from the inside. Flying from the inside means you just find the strength within yourself, to believe that you can do it, and you go after your dream, And that's just basically what that song means. It's about going after your dreams.
And I asked him about his hair, changing his hair.
No, I got bored, man. I was just like, I know everybody sees me, they're like, and I cut 7 inches off too, and everybody's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'd had long brown hair for like the longest time, and I just, for a long, long time. And I guess I just was kind of, I really, dude, the only explanation I can give you is I just got bored. I just wanted something different, I don't think you can stay in the same genre all the time. I think you have to change things every once in a while,
Here he goes into the song In Memory.
I think in a lot of ways it was written about my mother and my father in some regards, just because my parents are extremely supportive of me. Now, in the beginning it wasn't really like that. And it was just kind of like my release. And it's not completely about them because the bridge lyrics are extremely harsh and extremely brutal. But I had that kind of in mind, at least for the chorus and so forth. But I mean, like, that's probably got one of my favorite lines that I ever wrote, which is the first verse, which is, some of the ugliest things took the longest time to make, and some of the easiest habits are the hardest ones to break. And I'm not asking for value nor the pain, I'm just asking for a way out of this life. So it's like, it's just trying to, there again, it goes back to, finding out who you are inside and not letting anyone stop you and just going through it. I look at it as, my parents, they were doing the best that they were doing what they knew, and they did the best that they could do. Aaron Lewis said it best in his song, you can't, he couldn't blame it on his father. He did the best he could for me. It's really very truthful in a lot of ways.
And now, Left Out.
It was about someone that I knew. It was a girl that I knew, and she'll remain nameless. But I just knew her real well, and she had had a really, really hard time with her significant other, and it was just a really brutal relationship, and they just really had a major falling out, and it was just one of those things where she always just kind of felt left out, from her circle of friends and his circle of friends, and there was just a really abusive relationship that didn't really work out very well. And it's like the beginning of the song where it's like, tell me the one about the hand that holds you down, because the bruise on your face, it always seems to stay around. He was really aggressive with her and hurt her quite badly, and at the end but at the end she got even, because that's when, when the bridge breaks down, I say, I know that you need to get even, and it's for all the right reasons, and it's just about her standing up for herself and getting over it, and just, but the whole chorus, where it's like, to be the one who's always in the way, to be the words that never made the page, to be the one who's always left out in the rain, it's that contradictive kind of idea that people kind of go through, where in an abusive relationship they think that it's going to get better, and sometimes they feel like they're the ones that are doing the wrong thing when it has nothing to do with them. It's usually the person that's committing the pain, So, and she got out, and that was the best thing about it, you know.
Here he is speaking about the direction of his lyrics.
First of all, the biggest thing about the way that I write the lyrics and where they come from is just everything that I've been through in my life personally. I always write the lyrics about what I'm going through first before I expect anyone else to understand them, because if I don't write them for me first, then I'm cheating everyone that I sing them to, because you have to be honest with yourself. A lot of the lyrics are based around a positive message. I really feel like I hope that I put forth a positive message in the songs, but I also don't want to ever sacrifice someone knowing that they have to come from a dark place sometimes, and it's their responsibility to pull themselves out of it, because no one else is going to do it. Everybody wakes up in the morning and looks at themselves in the mirror. Everybody lays their head down at night. You came into this world alone. You're probably going to go out alone. So what you do in the meantime and in that middle area is completely up to you. You know, all day long you get these different opinions and different people saying things, and they want you to look a certain way and do this and do that and act like this and do more of this, and you know, everybody's got a direction they want you to be pulling you in. So it's like, you know, that's kind of where it comes from. You know, you're looking for a remedy to all that madness, and you know, you kind of just want to say to them sometimes, did I miss something? Did I not go where you know? So that's basically, it's very in a lot of ways, it's kind of self-explanatory.
And you know there's a business out there, the music business. Here's Brent.
It's very cliche, unfortunately. The music business has not lied to anybody. They are straight up, they'll tell you, you know, it's pretty much you're either top priority or you're not, and you have to fight to stay on top. So that's just the way they are.
Afterwards, Brent thanked me kindly for getting it. Must be most interviewers come in a little underprepared. But don't be. We get what he's writing about. The search for, well, just listening to the song Better Version. I'm Frank Jenks from Listen In, on constant search for artists who rock on purpose. And my digging tools consist of microphones and a portable recorder. And we have a ton of rock stars who speak truth and get all real with life. Find what you're searching for at listenin.org. I must start out by saying you made a good choice. My second mic time with Brent Smith of Shinedown is primo. But, you know, I basically say that about the other ones too. He's just that sort of guy who, you know, even in the middle of it all, has perspective.